Because if America goes, what the f*** are you doing? We're pulling support. They're done. They're done. It's over. It is Jover. It has never been more Jover. Take a look.
Israel at war, the uncensored debate. Muhammad Hijab is a Muslim philosopher, scholar,
He is
and
he's a very good debate lord, though.
Whose first appearance on the show was viewed by more than 8 million people. Rabbi Shmuley has been called the most famous rabbi in America. He is the international best-selling author of Kosher Hate and The Israel Warrior. Both men are passionate, both men are influential, and they both have vehemently opposing views. Tonight, they go uncensored and head-to-head. We're bringing together two very opinionated, passionate, influential people, very opposing views, and we're going to have a proper debate, and we're going to see if somewhere...
It's so funny to have Piers Morgan moderate a proper debate. Okay.
There is perhaps more that we can agree on than we first imagined. So thank you for joining me, gentlemen. We tossed a coin before we came on air tonight, and actually you won the toss, and you said you want to go second.
I defer to my brother.
And the way this will work, Mohammed, we have 4 sections of this debate, and at the start of each one, you'll both get 1 minute uninterrupted to say what you want to say about each of the themed titles of each block. So you go first, and at the end of your minute, you'll hear a sound, and when you hear that, you end, and then Rabbi Shmuley gets his chance to speak. So the first theme is a simple one. Are Hamas to blame? You have a minute, Mohammed, from now.
From one perspective, Hamas started the battle because obviously from October 7th, even they themselves title it Tufan al-Aqsa or the flooding of al-Aqsa. But from another perspective, if you really look at it from an international law perspective, we're talking about 1967, we're talking about Security Resolution 242, in which it is actually stated that Israel is in a belligerent state because they're occupying the West Bank, East Jerusalem and Gaza.
True.
And they have been, so therefore the war has been continual for a very long time according to international law. But let's remove Hamas from the situation altogether. Let's remove them. What do you have? You have the West Bank. And what do you have in the West Bank? You have 187 children who have been put in prisons. They have been put in prisons, according to Bet Salem, without charge. You have 44 children before October the 7th that have been killed before October the 7th in just 2023 alone. So if you remove Hamas from the equation, what you have the West Bank. You remove dominance from the equation, you have the West Bank, and what you have occupation, you have settlement, which you condemned, rightfully so. You condemned that on your show. The settlement's there.
Okay. Rabbi Shmuley, 1 minute to respond.
Resolution 242 in the UN.
The fuck?
Doesn't mention a single thing about aggression or aggressor. That is a total
Oh, okay. That was on the fucking show, right? I was like, was that me?
fabrication, and it speaks about disputed territories. But let's be clear. The occupier of Gaza is Hamas. They won an election in 2006, had a civil war.
Wait, what do you mean won an election? They did win an election.
Was Mahmoud Abbas, took the Palestinian Authority officials, threw them off buildings, killed Muslims, killed Arabs. Mahmoud Abbas is afraid to go to Gaza. He's terrified of Hamas.
God, he's so bad. This stuff is so... I mean, this is so easy to make mincemeat out of, okay? That was America's doing. It was America's design. No, but Palestinians have never had, like, the autonomy to be able to conduct elections. Why can't they do one now, okay?
Hasn't been there since 2007. And let's be clear, Hamas is an abomination to Islam. Sultan Salah al-Din, the greatest Muslim conqueror of all time, after whom the main artery in Gaza is named, he said that you have to allow all prisoners to be redeemed. He would never hold hostages. And remember, Islam is about fair treatment of prisoners of war. Hamas beheaded Thai non-Jewish workers. You asked in your last appearance here for real first-hand sources. I'm the first-hand source. I saw it in Kibbutz Alumim. They raped women. They had sex with dead women's bodies. They are evil and do...
What? I'm sorry. Yo! Dude, he is nutty, dude.
Do the right thing and call them evil.
All right, we've had a minute each. Okay, we've got a passionate start. Mohammed, let me ask you about Hamas.
I think that's... So, for the record, I think Rabbi Shmuley hitting that fucking bar makes him look utterly unhinged to the average person. I think he went way above and beyond. Now, that is the difference between Hasbara propaganda that those who want to defend the state of Israel have basically maintained for, I don't know, the past like 30, 40 years that was like uncritically reported on versus like what people's perspectives are now. There's no way you could just hit that fucking line like that at a time when, like, I think even those who are very much in support of Israel, outside of Israel, are aware of how much Israel, the Israeli government just lies about this shit. The fact that he just said something along the lines of they had sex with dead bodies is an alt. And he alted so fast that, like, most people are going to turn around and be like, okay, dude, what the fuck are you saying? But he doesn't even realize. I don't think he realizes how that comes across to the average person.
I want to first, before you do that, I want to commend you, Piers, honestly, because bringing me on for the second time, I have to commend you.
No, for Islamophobes, it's still easily believable. No, the level of Islamophobia that you need to be at to believe that is far higher than the average Islamophobia of the average person. You have to build up to that.
The fact that you actually condemned...
Motherfucker said he watched Hamas people like corpses, dude. That's an insane thing to say. There are a tremendous number of Islamophobic people in the Western world as a consequence of their social conditioning that justifies the actions of their states historically, but specifically during the war on terror. When you say a lie like that, you're going to be off-putting to a lot of people. People are going to go, that's insane. I don't really like Muslims and I'm scared of them, but I think this guy's out of his mind.
The settlements is very good, but people want to know, do you think the IDF are a terrorist organization?
No.
You don't think they're a terrorist organization? Okay, well, if you look at the UN definition of terrorist organization, they say killing civilians for political gain.
You're asking my opinion.
No, but if the UN definition, according to the UN definition, is killing civilians for political objectives. Why are they not terrorist organizations?
Well, you've asked me a straight question. I don't think they are a terror organization.
So when you see babies like this, the ones who kill babies like this are not terrorists.
It's horrific.
So the people who kill babies like this are not terrorists.
Well, let me respond.
Yes.
Let me respond. We'll both,
it's not your turn.
You can both get into this. Here's my response to that. And I thought carefully about this. I've been very honest about my own feelings. I have a real moral quandary about this because as a father,
Because I want to defend Israel, but also Israel's doing indefensible things.
hate these scenes of kids being killed in Gaza. It's horrific, right?
You're making it hard for me to defend Israel.
I'm about to explain to you what I think my position is. My position is after what happened on October the 7th, it was so barbaric, so disgusting.
So you can kill children?
Well, no, what you can do...
That's exactly what terrorists say, by the way.
Let me answer your question.
This is not a debate. This is someone else becoming the host of the show and now interviewing you. I thought we're being interviewed. No. Mohammed, you and I are being interviewed. You're not here to interview him.
You're going to have your chance.
Mohammed, you can put it down.
Don't make him lose control of his own show. You do this all the time. I'm not going to let it happen tonight.
All right, Rabbi, let me answer.
Please have respect for the...
No. Stop interviewing the interviewer and be respectful. And be respectful.
Dude, this man does not know what respect is, okay? If it smacked him in the fucking face, he wouldn't know it. Get the fuck out of here. Rabbi Shmuley is not that good of a debater. I mean, he's a very good media personality. Been around for a while. I mean, big time Trump guy, right? But like him crying about decorum is pretty funny in this circumstance because like he literally, you saw how he opened up on Jang.
Tell me, sorry, is it a terrorist organization or not?
No.
Why not?
I do not believe so.
They kill civilians for political objectives.
You have to let me answer.
Go ahead.
Okay. Here's my answer to that. When Hamas did what they did, two things. One, Hamas knew exactly what Israel's response would be. They knew they would come incredibly hard back.
I don't absolve them.
Wait a minute. I'm not absolving anybody.
I'm not absolving them.
Yeah, okay.
I'm saying the West Bank is West Hamas.
I know.
West Hamas.
You have to let me answer. You
got 44 children killed like this in the West Bank.
This is ridiculous.
Wait a minute, Rabbi Shmuley. Let me just answer you quickly.
Go ahead.
I believe Israel has a right to defend itself from after that terror attack.
But can they kill children?
Wait a minute.
Can they?
Wait a minute. Particularly after the Hamas spokesman only last week said that they want to do this again and again and again. That's an existential threat to Israel.
Why don't they fight them man to man? Man to man. Fight them man to man. Why do you have to kill children?
Wait a minute.
Why do you have to kill?
Fight them man to man. No shot.
Let me answer you, Mohammed.
Why?
Let me answer you.
Of a ratio of 100 to 1, by the way.
Let me answer you.
100 to 1 ratio.
Let me answer you.
Go ahead.
Otherwise, it's pointless.
Go ahead.
So, I agree that Israel must defend itself. I agree.
Why is Piers defending Shmuley's position? Because it's like becoming harder and harder to maintain a position that could be seen as charitable while doing that at a time when, 11,000, 12,000 Palestinians are killed. It's too difficult for Piers to maintain an ounce of credibility in the situation and not like admit that this is ridiculous.
They have to get rid of Hamas because Hamas is wedded to an ideology of existentially removing Israel.
Is this acceptable?
Wait a minute. I'm coming to your answer.
Is this acceptable?
I'm coming to your answer.
Chat, you can't see it from that angle.
This is not even.
Wait a minute.
They don't blur it in every angle, I don't think. Let's continue.
Conversation.
Wait a minute.
Listen, I came all the way from the
Rabbi
United
Shmuley,
States for this debate.
Let me finish.
And he will not let anyone else speak. And if that's how these shows work, no. You are rude. You are a bully. You just are trying to interrupt people. I'm going to have a chance to speak, or there's no point in doing this show. He did this last time, and you allowed him to, but I won't allow him to, because I will never be bullied by a bully.
At the moment,
let me be clear.
Wait a minute. No one's allowing me to answer your question.
Go ahead, sir.
And it's this. I believe Israel has a right to defend itself.
Okay.
I agree that they need to get rid of Hamas.
Who
are terror groups.
In this way?
Well, here's the quandary for me morally, right?
Why is it a quandary, though?
I'll tell you why.
With Hamas, it's not a quandary.
I'll tell you why. Because in war, when you declare war, as Britain did with the Nazis...
100-to-1 ratio.
No,
100
of course,
to 1.
There are
combatant to non-combatant ratio.
A far higher number of children in Gaza, proportionate to population, than almost anywhere in the world.
Piers,
so when they go after Hamas...
Give me a chance.
Very sadly... Mohammed, let me finish. Very sadly...
You are the one who insisted on equal time. I never did, but you will not respect equal time.
I will come to you literally in 30 seconds.
He's going to ask you a question.
In 30 seconds, I'll come to you.
He's going to come to you afterwards.
Let me finish, please. I am in charge here, Mohammed. So my final point on this is, unfortunately, in war, civilians
100 to 1 ratio. 100 to 1 ratio.
Yes.
100 to 1 ratio.
Yes, they get killed.
No, not 100 to 1 ratio. It's an unacceptable ratio.
Get killed.
Piers, listen.
Rabbi Shmuley, in you come.
You know, Piers, can I say respectfully, and I mean this as no insult, I'm amazed that you're intimidated by this man. I feel, well, with all due respect,
if I can speak,
he brought me in the second time.
I wouldn't bring him back if I was intimidated.
If I can speak.
And he raises a very valid question, by the way.
No, he does not, because I have. Before he
Rabbi
did this debate,
Shmuley is losing Piers.
On X on Twitter and said, I'm only doing it if there's equal time. And then he is violating that. I never asked for equal time. I just want to be heard. But he won't even let me be heard. Let me explain something to you. You said in a video the other day, and you can look me in the eye, you said that Jews are now trembling. Muhammad, I am not. No, don't interrupt me. I am not trembling. It's all on my Instagram page. Now, you see this yarmulke? It means that I represent something. I'm an ambassador. You're an ambassador of Islam. You are talking about a religion that started the world's first universities, educated women. Fatima started the first university in the 9th century in Fez, Morocco.
Irrelevant.
Now we have a man who says that he's a representative of Islam.
He's meant to be speaking to you.
He goes to Speaker's Corner. He speaks about whether 5-year-old girls are old enough for sex. He says that gay men are dying of AIDS as a punishment from God. And I'm sorry to have to say this.
Yeah, by the way, this is Rabbi Shmuley's move, it seems. Is just like, don't address the talking points, immediately fucking engage in character assassination. And I don't know anything about Muhammad Hijab and his background, but I suspect, knowing what I know about Cenk and what he said about Cenk, he's just probably lying.
To the listeners, that blood is gushing from their backsides. They're better off. You know what it is? Because you are desecrating a great religion. Now let me tell you why. Let me tell you why it appeals. Why it's here? Because he will defend. I will.
Bring it back to the topic.
He will defend Hamas's butchery, savagery. He doesn't care that Hamas is an abomination to Islam because Islam,
but he hasn't done
the
that.
Children in Gaza are dying because Hamas uses them as bulletproof vests. The United States and France and England said yesterday that the Al-Shifa hospital is a military base. It has a tiny veneer.
Let him have his minute.
It has a tiny veneer of emergency rooms.
Not a minute.
But underneath all of it is a military base.
You have a minute.
And let me tell you something. If it's true that any of these countries care about the Muslims in Gaza because they believe what he's saying, that Israel's killing them, this is a map of all the countries that took place last week in Riyadh to save the Palestinians of Gaza from Israel. Do you know how many? That's Israel, a tiny thing. You know how many of them took in even one Palestinian from Gaza? Zero, nothing. Look at that map. Because they want to. The Arabs want to see. The Arabs want to see Hamas. Don't intimidate me. Don't bully me. Don't intimidate me. I'm not afraid of you.
I've got to be able to ask questions. It's a debate. Let's come back. Let me ask you one specific question which he raised, which I don't think actually is your belief. I don't think you have defended what Hamas did on October the 7th.
Yeah, I haven't.
I think you share our...
Are they evil?
Unless I'm wrong.
Are they evil? Are they evil?
Stop speaking. Is it me or him I'm speaking to?
Are they evil?
Rabbi Shmuley,
Hamas
you're now doing what you accused him of doing.
Stop speaking.
Let me ask you, What is your view of Hamas post-October 7th?
I think that they, just like anybody else, have to be examined, have to look at all the...
What's your opinion about them?
Yeah, I think that, here's my opinion. Let me be straightforward about this, right? Anybody who kills civilians, anybody, whether it's the IDF, I'm consistent in this manner. If it's proven beyond reasonable doubt that these people have killed civilians in both of our faith traditions, in Islam and Judaism, in the Quran is mentioned, in the Prophet, he said it himself, you cannot kill a woman, you cannot kill a child. I condemn them. I condemn them. That's what I do. Straight away, whether he's Muslim, whether he's non-Muslim, whether he's Christian or anybody else. I've already said that. So I'm not being inconsistent here. My question is, if that is exactly the barometer that we're using, if that's the moral reasoning that we're using, then we have to say, look, if you have a 100-to-1 ratio, and that's what it is, a 100-to-1 ratio. And do you know how I got this figure? I got this figure from the IDF themselves because they have reported to
but let me ask you this. Does Hamas deserve to stay in power after what they did?
I don't think we should have Hamas in power. What I think we should... Okay. No, let me tell you... we should have...
How do you get rid of them?
We should have a Palestinian Authority with bigger armies and airports, with proper tanks and with airplanes like every country in the world.
You know what? You might be right. But
absolutely. They won't allow it.
How do you get
the Israelis won't allow that.
How do you get rid of Hamas?
What you don't do, I can tell you for a fact, is try and kill 30,000 of them with a 100-to-1 ratio. Because if you do that, then you're committing genocide. Because you'd have to kill 3 million Palestinians.
Rabbi Shmuley?
Do you even know the definition of genocide?
I haven't said genocide.
What's it? You just said it.
No, I said if you...
What is the definition of genocide? What's the definition?
I said if you do.
You always claim to be an academic. You're always touting your Oxford credentials. What is the definition?
All right.
Conditional.
You said conditional.
Genocide is where...
Genocide is where... You'll be genocidal.
Genocide is where you target an ethnicity for extinction. Ethnicity, side, murder.
Yes, if you...
Yeah, okay. Ethnic displacement is also a part of this, though. Like, what do you mean? Yeah. Like, ain't nobody out here around these parts is going to be like, the Armenian genocide wasn't a genocide. Or Manifest Destiny wasn't a genocide. It was. Forcible replacement of an ethnic group from an entire, like a civilian population from an area, forcibly relocating them to another area, is still definitionally a part of genocidal strategies. Also, the definition of genocide isn't like, oh, you hit the certain number and now it's officially a genocide. Ding, ding, ding. That's actually a post hoc definition that you add. And the reason for why we have that definition is so that we don't do it ever again, which is why it's perfectly permissible to consider something like this, especially when Israel has demonstrated intent, to be a forcible ethnic cleansing and ethnic displacement campaign. They've said as much time and time again, okay? It's not a genocide once it's like fully implemented.
You do it. If you kill 3 million Palestinians, are you genocidal or not? If you kill 3 million Palestinians, are you genocidal or not?
Don't speak over each
other. There are 1.8 million Muslim Arabs who live in total peace in Israel as equal citizens. In fact, Israel practiced reverse discrimination against the Jews because the Jews are conscripted to fight Hamas. So, if Israel...
Wait, what? Sorry, oh my God, he said Israel's actually racist to the Jewish, he said.
Excuse me. No, you will not interrupt me. If Israel, you will not interrupt me. You will not interrupt me. You will not interrupt me. You will not bully me. You will not interrupt me. I am not afraid of you. Stop saying the Jews tremble. Now, let me be clear. Let me be clear.
We're getting nowhere if you shout over each other.
Well, then you need to control your guests with all due respect. Okay? He said he said equal time, and there's no equal time. Now,
there's no equal time.
If Israel was interested in a genocide of the Palestinians, why do they have 1.8 million equal Arab Muslim citizens who are in the Israeli Supreme Court,
They're not equal.
who are 1/3 of the medical profession? Do you know that an Arab judge put the president of Israel in jail for accused rape? That was Moshe Katsav. That's how little Israel's an apartheid state, genocidal state. This man sitting next to me, Mohammed Hijab, will not distinguish between self-defense when Hamas comes to brutal.
Notice the soft Zionism of the squishy liberal earlier in the chat. No one will say Rabbi Shmuley is a liberal, nor is he a soft Zionist. And yet, for some reason, they're both engaging in the same exact strategy. As a matter of fact, he's doing a better job than the chatter did originally. That's really interesting, because when it's an apartheid regime, it doesn't matter if you're a soft Zionist or not. If you are defending the apartheid regime, if you're defending the apartheid, if you're defending that structure, you're still defending something that is utterly unjustifiable, immoral, okay?
Brutalize and murder your people versus when an army like Britain, like France, stops
All right, but Rabbi Shmuley,
retaliate
can we go
to
for the-
simply
can we
protect
go back
their
to the
interests.
I have to
You
say-
don't believe the Jews should have a right to defend
Rabbi
themselves.
Shmuley-
Say it
Don't
outright
say
then.
that.
Then say it.
The Jews have the right to defend themselves.
He
They
just said
do.
it.
Yes, they do.
So
of
that's
course.
why we have to go.
Everybody has a right to defend
So that's why
themselves.
we have
Jews
to
have
go
the right
into
to defend
Gaza to
themselves.
stop
wait.
Hamas.
Yes, they can
Wait,
go to Gaza
Rabbi
and stop
Shmuley.
Hamas.
But
No, they
Rabbi
can go in, but
Shmuley-
don't. No, hey, hold on.
But-
Let me tell you my
Say
position.
it.
Let me tell you my.
So they can go in. Thank
He
God.
asked me a question.
Go
Can I
ahead.
answer,
Yes.
can I answer it? Yes, they can go into even fight. Even Abu Ubaidah, the general of Hamas, he said, "Nahnu fi intidharikum" in Arabic. We are waiting for you. That's what he's been
Okay.
saying. Hold on. You've asked me a question.
Go ahead.
They do have a right. What I've been advocating all along is face-to-face confrontation. What I'm against, hold on, excuse me. What I'm against is a 100-to-1 ratio, because if you have
All right.
100,
We're going to come to this in block two.
Let me,
All right.
Okay, fine.
Hamas
listen-
is hiding under hospitals.
Okay.
What face-to-face
Listen,
confrontation?
Rabbi-
Hamas is
Rabbi
shooting
Shmuley,
children who are going
face-to-face.
south.
I'm okay with face-to-face
Block
confrontation.
two
I
is
like it.
Block two is
It's the honourable way.
Block two is exactly this question.
Go ahead, let's go.
My only observation,
He hasn't had
Rabbi
his minute.
Shmuley, so far, you're being more personal and ad hominem than he is.
With all
Right?
due respect, I think that's extremely unfair. Because
you are.
every time I say
No, it's
anything,
not,
listen,
you fucking bitch. What do you mean? You've brought forward zero evidence so far. You said, why won't the remaining Arab nation states that are like American client states allowing us to continue with our ethnic displacement campaign? That was the one factoid that you brought to the table. The other was to deny that the apartheid even exists by lying and claiming that the Palestinian citizens of Israel, the 23% of the fucking population, you don't need to call him a donkey, dumbass will do. Yes, wait, what? Why? No, donkey's fine. I call everybody a donkey.
Muhammad-
You keep answering
Also,
for
there's
him.
no,
when in fact-
if
there's no
Muhammad-
racialization of the term donkey. It's a safe one.
Actually ask him questions.
Because
he
he
gives
won't
you straight
answer.
answers.
If
But he
Muhammad,
gives
if
you straight
Muhammad
answers.
Hijab wants to be a representative and ambassador of Islam, then he has to take responsibility for his position.
I don't want to be any of that.
He actually said that
I
Islam
represent
believes in death. You're not
Okay.
going to beat us because we want to die. We're
All right.
prepared to lose thousands
Rabbi
of
Shmuley,
people.
we're taking
Is
a break.
Islam really a religion of death?
We're
You
taking
are
a
a
break.
poor ambassador of your
Martyrdom,
faith.
martyrdom.
Hey, hey, hey.
You believe in martyrdom?
Of course I
All
do.
You want to be a martyr?
Yeah, absolutely.
You want to die
Martyr-
fighting
do
the
you know-
Jews?
I didn't say Jews. Who said Jews?
Okay,
Do you know
you
what
want to be a
martyr
martyr
is?
where? What
What is it?
explain
What is
it.
a
Yeah.
Whoa. See, Rabbi Shmuley does this thing where he knows how racist the audience is, and he leans on it so much. Like, he's getting away with an unimaginable amount of Islamophobic shit, like to be like, oh, you want to be a martyr? Being a martyr doesn't mean that you're fucking blowing yourself with a suicide vest or whatever. Muhammad Hijab is supposed to describe that in this situation, but before he can even describe that situation, okay, he immediately hits so you want to kill yourself fighting Jews? This is so intellectually dishonest, which we already know. Problem is, Rabbi Shmuley knows how this is going to be seen, how this is going to be viewed. It's really fucked up.
What's
Yes.
the Part of me
Calling a Jewish person donkeys ain't Semitic is pointing to the Jesus story, riding a donkey back to Jerusalem. Wait, what? Shut the fuck
Someone
up.
who dies for his
Muhammad
faith.
told
Wait,
us,
really?
"Man qutila duna malihi fahuwa shahid." Whoever dies defending themselves, defending their wealth,
Is that what you
is a
want?
martyr. No.
Do you want to die defending Islam, but do you want Islam to be a religion of peace? You want it to be a religion of peace?
This child for us is a martyr.
You're right.
Do you agree or not?
Because
Do you agree or not?
Hamas is
Do you agree
using
or
him
not?
as a human
This is-
shield.
Really?
No.
Yes,
Just like
Hamas.
your-
That's gross. That's gross. No, he's doing it. He's still doing it. He's fucking doing the thing where he's like, when Muslims say someone is martyred, they mean, like they died as a human shield, which is very fucked up. Islamophobic as shit right there, dude. Straight up. No, martyrdom happens in any cause whatsoever. But if you are unjustifiably killed in a situation like this, even if you're a child, you are still considered a martyr. That's why the glory to the martyrs sentiment is not about Hamas militants or anything like that. Even though Americans don't know that and they equate it with terrorism. Shireen Abu Akleh would be a martyr in this circumstance, even though she's Christian.
He's hiding behind him.
Let's
Correct.
go to the next section.
Condemn
All right,
Hamas.
all right, let's time out.
Come on, man. This
Let's
guy's
try
wasting my time.
not to talk over each other because the viewers can't hear it,
Okay,
right?
let's go
I don't
for it.
mind the passion.
Sure.
I don't mind the debate. I don't mind the fire. I do mind if we can't hear what you're saying. It's pointless.
Yeah, let's do the minute
Let's
thing.
go to the second topic, right? This time,
he had his minute, by the way?
Rabbi Shmuley, you will go first with a minute to say what you want to say, and then Muhammad
what's the
Hijab, you'll
question,
get yours.
please?
So the theme is this, and the question is this for Block 2. Has Israel gone too far in its response to the October the 7th terror attacks? Okay, Rabbi Shmuley, you have a minute starting now.
I just came here by taxi and passed a statue of Winston Churchill. That's in the lifetime of our parents, okay? He is the greatest British statesman of the 20th century. You know what he did when he had a genocidal threat, knowing that Hitler wanted to eviscerate, annihilate Britain?
Wait, bro, Winston Churchill literally did a genocide. A massive, massive racist. Not exactly fond of Jewish people either, as far as I understand, but...
He carpet bombed all of Germany, Dresden, Essen, Hamburg. Israel has not even gotten close to that. Israel does not send its Air Force to carpet bomb cities. It sends in its military. I have a friend who died, six children, 39, because he was personally trying to stop a Hamas terror tunnel. Israel is surgical. Israel is only going after the fighters. Israel has opened humanitarian corridors for the Palestinians to go south. Hamas shoots them and makes sure they don't go. Hamas builds its military
Yeah, all of the times that we've blown up people in the South, that was also Hamas.
structures. Right, Shifa Hospital is this much hospital and it's this much military. They love using Palestinians, and that's why they've stolen their money. They got about $16 billion from the international community. There isn't one bomb shelter in Gaza.
I love this take. You're so fucking stupid. Why would, first of all, a Mark 84 rocket, a missile, doesn't discriminate against bomb shelters. Bomb shelters only work if you're lobbing bathtub rockets that the Palestinian forces have been able to fucking put together. That's number one. Number two, Israel bombs hospitals. Why wouldn't they destroy bomb shelters, you fucking idiot? What do you mean? What bomb shelters? They can't even fucking, they don't have cement for the desalination plants that they destroyed.
Gaza. They don't care about the civilians at all. Israel's doing the right thing.
Mohammed,
destroying Hamas.
you have a minute.
What I'm saying is the 100 to 1 ratio comes from the following figures. We know that 10,000 civilians have died. Of them, according to the IDF, as reported by The Guardian, 60, dozens, they say, about 60 Hamas died, which we're being liberal by saying 100 to 1 figures. For every one Hamas, you have to kill 100 civilians. That's effectively what we're saying. If the trajectory continues as it is, then you have to kill 3 million Palestinian civilians in order to kill 30,000 Hamas fighters. If you want to extinguish them, eviscerate them, annihilate them, destroy them, you have to do that. Now you have Herzog, who is the president that you interviewed, saying that all Palestinians, they are responsible. This man is being more slippery. He's being more slippery than the lubricants that he sells in his daughter's sex shop. And that's the reality of the situation.
Did you really just say that? You know, you seem obsessed.
Wait. Fucking got him! That's good. Little ad hominem in there. Sneak that shit in there. Bro, I don't, listen. You can't fucking start the convo with immediate ad hominems. I love that he just went and, wait, hold on. We're going to run that again. I love the fact that Rabbi Shmuley started the convo with ad hominems and got so fucking pissed when he got hit with it. Okay, look.
Slippery. He's being more slippery than the lubricants that he sells in his daughter's sex shop. And that's the reality of the situation.
Did you really just say that?
Look. Immediately checking his watch.
You seem obsessed with
He's like, all right, turning on the time now. Top of the hour.
Jewish sex. It's bizarre. Yesterday, you actually spoke about Ben Shapiro's wife.
Yes,
you
I did.
actually, you said
Yes,
to Ben
He said, yes, I did.
Shapiro,
Yes, I did.
your wife's a carrot. Well, you're more of a man. Is that what you're trying to
Yes,
say?
I did.
Then you said that Jews have BDSM. You're speaking about
Can we get it
sexual
back?
lubricants while people are dying.
Yo, you're getting fucking cumstered, brother. Sorry. You can't get mad, dude. You can't get fucking mad at the ad hominems if you can't fucking get it launched back at you. You can't get mad when you're the one who's fucking going nutty with it. You said you're slipperier than the lubricant that your daughter sells at her sex shop.
You know, Muhammad, get your head out of the Jewish bedroom. It's really bizarre.
Can we get it?
Let me be clear.
No.
Sexual lubricants? How
You
embarrassing.
sell dildos, don't you?
Can we get it back?
You sell dildos, don't you?
Can we get
Yeah, she has a kosher sex shop. Kana Boteach, also, for those of you who don't know, I think is the same daughter that was beefing with beefing it up with Drake. The same one that was like complaining, or the same one that was saying that she thinks it's awesome that she can hear like Gazan children dying with Israeli rockets. Yeah, there's some dildos in here, yeah. God damn, bro. He fucking cumstered him. Okay.
Get it back to
You
the
speak about 5-year-old girls being ready.
He said, your daughter's selling dildos.
Come on, listen. Let's go back to the issue. Let's go back to the issue.
Let me ask a question.
Why are you shaking? I've got a vibrator in your pocket.
Come on, it's a serious debate.
I think he's got one of his daughters vibrating.
Come on, leave it, please.
You are just
It's stupid.
humiliating
We're going
yourself.
to cut this.
Oh, fuck, dude. That was okay. I'll take it back. That was pretty good. Mohammed, good job.
Back to the issue.
We'll cut all this stuff out. So there's no point.
Why? Why?
No,
Leave
don't
it.
cut
People
out.
should see what he
Uncensored.
represents.
There's no
It is
point
uncensored.
abusing each other personally.
No,
Okay, Piers.
I want to stick to the debate.
Let's get to the debate.
You don't want to do it? We'll end the debate.
Let's get to the debate.
Right, let me ask Mohammed a question. Right, I don't disagree with you that.
Let me ask you a question, Mohammed. Would you use the kosher lubricant that Rabbi Shmuley's daughter sells at her sex shop? Would you do that?
So far, it seems to me,
Yes.
obviously,
Yes.
a fact that many, many more Palestinian civilians, innocent people, are getting killed as retribution by the Israelis for what happened on October the 7th. That's indisputable, right? Their argument is that they're going after a terror organization, Hamas, and unfortunately in war, as Rabbi Shmuley correctly said about what Churchill did in World War II.
Churchill was wrong.
A lot of
Churchill was wrong.
Was he a war criminal?
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
Churchill was a war
Yes, he was.
criminal.
Churchill was a war
Were all
criminal.
the British
Let me
people
do
who
this
lived there
Churchill was a
war
war
criminals?
criminal.
Okay,
Let me do
and
the
George
question.
VI was George VI
All
war
of them
criminal?
war criminals.
George
Like
VI
it's
war
like all of them.
criminal.
Yes, of
So
course.
anyone,
his
hang on.
Yes,
Listen, Mohammed Hijab might lose the British audience for saying that, but he's winning me. I respect the shit out of that. Okay? Like I said, I don't know what this dude's fucking deal is. I don't know what kind of shit he's on. Okay? In this circumstance, however, he's doing a pretty decent job shitting on Rabbi Shmuley.
Rabbi Shmuley,
War criminal. War
let me
criminal.
ask. So let me get this
Absolutely.
straight. You think
Collective punishment.
You think Winston Churchill
Was a war criminal.
in,
Yes.
in standing up to the Nazis
By killing the
who killed
babies.
12 million people,
I believe he was a war
that
criminal.
by doing what he did was a war criminal?
By killing in Dresden and Hamburg.
It's-
But by the indiscriminate killing. Collective punishment. My morality says that's impossible.
Okay, that means the British people who
That's impossible.
supported him
Can't
and
kill
voted him
children.
in, they were
My
also...
morality says that's
just a second,
impossible.
just a second.
That's what I believe,
But the British
yes.
people...
Yeah.
You believe he was a war criminal?
Yes.
So therefore, your belief is that no retaliatory action.
No,
by
you
any
can retaliate to the man, not to the babies.
Tell me a war in history
Yes.
where civilians haven't been killed.
No, I'm not saying civilians haven't been killed. It's
Just
about this
war
ratio.
or
It's about the
otherwise.
ratio. It's
No,
about
no.
the ratio.
What is the ratio?
What about the
What's
ratio?
100 to 1 is unacceptable.
Actually,
What is the
morally,
ra- what
100 to 1 is unacceptable.
actually,
First of all,
morally,
101
okay.
101 is an
101 is
Hang
invention.
on, Rabbi.
Okay. The real counter to this is simply that we brought about Geneva Conventions specifically because of the actions that not only the Axis took, but the Allied forces also took in World War II. And according to at least legal scholars now, looking back at the bombing of Dresden and many other parts of Germany and the firebombing campaign in Japan as well, even though Americans are a little less interested in making assessments about their justifiable war crimes at the time. It is one of the only instances, like what you're describing is one of the only instances where like the otherwise completely justified military action was not necessarily morally permissible. Okay? There are 1,000 different things that you can point to during World War II that are completely appropriate. No one will argue against it. Okay? No one. So why is it that you try to grab onto the one instance that is still in contest, like it's still contested, especially after we created new rules of conduct? Another good counter is, why are we basing our morality in the 21st century on the barbarism of the past? That's kind of what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, it's literally about the ratio. How beneficial is it for the war effort versus how many civilians will die? No, I mean, the Dahiyya doctrine is impermissible. It's not allowed. It's not like legally appropriate. It's a violation of international law. And same for America's actions in many other places as well. The difference is this. If Dresden was conducted as an on-the-ground military operation, people would consider it a genocide. But because it was done with aerial bombardment, it's not considered that. That's the only thing. Aerial bombardment makes it, in our minds at least, more morally permissible. If you had boots on the ground military forces driving through fucking streets and personally shooting every civilian, it would not be considered appropriate at all. Okay? The same goes for the atom bomb. Can you imagine if American forces went in to Hiroshima and Nagasaki and killed hundreds of thousands of people and shot them dead or lit them on fire? No, absolutely zero people would think about that as anything but the most horrific actions, the most unacceptable actions. But because it's a firebombing campaign conducted with an air force or a atomic bomb, you don't think about it in the same way. Of the firebombing of Tokyo, firebombing of Japan was also unacceptable.
So let me give you a ratio.
Yeah.
How many people did the Nazis kill?
I don't know.
You don't know.
million.
We know they killed 6 million.
They killed 12 million people.
I don't know. We don't know.
Including 6 million Jews.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
So
12 million
how many died in Dresden? How many civilians died in Germany? Do you know?
I don't know exactly.
Right. So you don't actually know what you're talking about.
I do know what I'm talking about because
You
I know in
called
Dresden
Churchill-
and Hamburg.
3 million.
You said it's about.
Right?
Unless I'm wrong.
Yeah, go ahead.
Unless I'm wrong.
Yeah, go
You
ahead.
said it's to do with the
Ratios.
The ratios.
Yes.
But you don't know the ratios. When
I know for a fact.
You
Dresden
call
and
Winston Churchill.
What are the numbers?
Dresden and Hamburg.
What are the numbers?
Dresden
Wait a
and
minute,
Hamburg?
Rabbi Shmuley. When you
Dresden-
call Winston Churchill a criminal,
Yeah, I believe
you're
a war
basing
criminal.
it on ratios you don't even.
Bro, total number of civilian casualties in Germany, World War II. Oh, I was wrong. The German government reported that they lost 4.3 million dead. Civilian deaths during the war include air raid deaths. Estimated German civilian kills by Allied strategic bombing have ranged from 350,000 to 500,000. To be fair, still a better fucking ratio. Once again, the topic is not on the Palestinians. I know, it's really stupid. Also, if you want to talk about Churchill being a war criminal, then talk about the Bengal famine. There's no reason to talk about anything other than that. I mean, he is a genocidal freak. He is a massive racist. All of these things are true. Ultimately, it's not only strategic bombing. No, it's still legally in the gray area, in a sea of things that you can talk about in World War II that is not. Okay, I mean, it was the bombing campaign over civilian areas in Germany was so radicalizing that we have two, not one, at least two authors and scholars that came out of that participated in the bombing campaigns. One is Kurt Vonnegut, the other one is Howard Zinn. Howard Zinn literally rewrote his entire brain after that. He was like, this is the worst thing I've done. I can't believe that I did this. It made him reconsider everything that he had known. It made him reconsider his worldview. That's the reason why he became one of the best, in my opinion. Rest in power. Vonnegut was Vonnegut was a prisoner of war who witnessed it, not a pilot. Sorry. Well, Howard Zinn was a pilot. Howard Zinn literally was an Air Force pilot at the time who participated in bombing campaigns and said that it was unimaginable. Lol, Howard Zinn was bombing Kurt. 25,000 civilians killed in Dresden intentionally, no military targets. Anyway, this is a stupid fucking conversation. It's a stupid back and forth because I know what Piers is going to say. He's going to say, well, do you think that the British were the worst? The British were worse than the Nazis because of the civilian killings, is what he's going to say. And that's a stupid fucking argument because the militarized death machine in this equation that we're talking about in Palestine and Israel that's closest to the Nazi militarized killing machine, which is the historically one of the worst killing machines of all time, okay, engaging in ethnic cleansing campaigns. The closest in that equation is Israel, not a fucking militant faction like Hamas.
Even know what they are.
No, I know. There's difference of opinion among the scholars.
No, there isn't.
There is difference.
Tell us the opinions. What are they? Tell us what they are.
Hold on.
How many in Dresden?
Excuse me. Stop speaking.
How many in Dresden?
Am I speaking to him or you?
How many in Dresden?
Whatever the number.
You don't know
if
at
it's
all.
indiscriminate,
Okay.
I'm against it.
No, he doesn't.
That's my morality.
Shmuley, you respond.
Dresden's about 25,000, and at the time, the Germans were saying 250,000. We know it's about 25,000 today. Let me be clear. Winston Churchill was the greatest statesman of the 20th century. He saved the world from
I agree.
Nazi terror.
Yeah.
That you could live in a country that is only around today because of the bravery of that man showing no gratitude is the height of...
Stick on topic. Stick on topic.
And to call all the British people who defeated the Nazis, stop interrupting me.
Stick on topic.
Defeated the
Please let each other
Nazis,
speak.
war criminals,
Stick on topic.
his parents, all the other people,
Off topic,
war
off
criminals.
topic. All right,
let me ask Rabbi Shmuley a
It's
question.
wrong. No. Let me be clear. Let me
Off topic, off topic.
Don't interrupt each
be
other.
clear. Muhammad Hijab trades in falsehoods. 300 to 1? What are you talking
100
about?
to 1.
And now he says
100 to 1.
he says the Jews are about to kill 3 million Palestinians.
I didn't say they're about to. I said
the
if.
fact
God, he's so... Dude, God, I hate Rabbi Shmuley. He's such a fucking asshole. He is such a fucking asshole, dude. He's so fast and loose with, like, the substitution that he does all the time with, like, Israel and Jews. and you have to catch him and correct him every time. Always. Always. He'll just go, oh, now he's saying the Jews are going to kill 3 million Palestinians. He's like, he didn't fucking say that. One, he never said Jews, okay? He said Israel. And two, he said in order for Israel to kill Hamas, okay, to eradicate Hamas, as they've stated, going by the current murder ratio that they have of innocent Palestinian to Hamas militant, they would have to kill 3 million innocent Palestinians to get rid of Hamas in its entirety. I hate him. God, he's so fucking,
That this man considers himself an Oxford academic. I was the rabbi at Oxford University for 11 years. This is a travesty.
Did you graduate from there?
This is a travesty.
Let me ask you a question, Rabbi.
Did you graduate from any university?
I have a rabbinical
Did you graduate?
Let me answer.
You excommunicated.
Let me answer.
Oh, shit. He said you got excommunicated. Do you have a rabbinical degree?
Let me answer.
I
am a rabbinical.
Honestly,
Can I speak?
This is pointless.
Go on.
Rabbi Shmuley, is there a limit to the number of civilians in Gaza that Israel can kill to try and
That's
eliminate
a good question.
Hamas?
That's a great question.
Yes, there is.
Thank you, but let me ask it.
Not even one. Not one beautiful Palestinian child should have to die.
He's such a piece of shit. You know. Oh, he's such a piece of shit.
Because Hamas kicked out Mahmoud
That wasn't
Abbas.
my question.
And not one should have to die.
God, he's making me hate Mahmoud Abbas even more by bringing him up. Like, the worst person, the biggest Trump dick rider, the absolute worst motherfucker who loves Mahmoud Abbas. Palestinians will never recover from this, okay? The PA is never recovering from that. But of course, for the record, there you have it. He fucking loves Abbas because Abbas is Israel's guy.
What the answer to your question is that Hamas, if they surrender unconditionally, then
Which they're not
all of
gonna
that.
do.
Okay, fine.
But is there a limit?
Then let them allow all the civilians.
Is there a limit?
Israel said that all the civilians can leave. All the civilians should go south. They begged them, and that's something that militaries never do. Churchill did not tell the people in Dresden, "Come on," and. You came with all your notes.
We get the point.
I'm not here.
We get the point, Mohammed. I get the point.
I get the point. This is all proof that he can't debate me. So he has to use these images. Debate me. We didn't ask you to come on with all your exhibits.
Rabbi Shmuley, let me ask you a question. A member of the cabinet in Israel was actually quoted as saying that nuclear weapons were an option that Israel could use. No one's ever confirmed Israel has nuclear weapons. It's long been suspected. That seemed pretty clear confirmation.
Why are you against nuclear weapons?
Hang on.
If you're not against Dresden, why are you against nuclear weapons?
Let me ask the question.
No, but why are you against it?
I've done this before, this job. Let me do it.
Go on.
Okay? So when that guy says that, if you're living as an innocent civilian in Gaza, what the hell are you thinking? That an Israeli government member threatens the use of a nuclear weapon, which would obliterate pretty much all of Gaza and everyone in it.
Absolutely.
Thank you for the question. If that were true, why hasn't Israel used nuclear weapons against Nasser when he invaded?
It's true.
Well, hold on.
It's true this guy threatened
it. And the answer is no. I know the guy, and I spoke to him about it. His name is Amichai Eliyahu. Israel has never carpet bombed any Arab.
Hang on, Mohammed.
Ever. Now,
my favorite is literally going, Israel has a really powerful military, and they're not using their nukes, so obviously they're good. He's like, oh, Israel doesn't have nukes because if they did, then they would use it. But also, the fact that they're not using their nukes, also I will use as an opportunity to demonstrate how much restraint they have. Love that. It's the classic, dude. Every fucking fascist has the exact same arguments always. My enemy is both weak and strong. We are, we're both small being and constantly under attack, but also the most powerful, and also incredibly restrained in our reaction. It could be so much worse. Yeah, no, it's literally the same as fucking Russia. It's the same as Russia. Russia has nukes. Why didn't they nuke Ukraine? The abusive husband is such a good guy. He could kill his wife at any point, but he chooses mercy and only beats her every week. Yeah.
1967 was preemptive.
He was asked a question by a...
Israel would never carpet bomb a city is so funny because it's like, yeah, through precision-guided missiles, we've been able to destroy 42% of the fucking standing infrastructure in the entire Gaza Strip, most densely populated area. It's like, okay, so you're deliberately You're not indiscriminately bombing, you're discriminately bombing, but you're still reaching the same fucking conclusion.
Provocative interview, and he said, well, if you're going to bomb the same thing, it was like it was a Mohammed Hijab type. You want to kill all the Arabs, 3 million people, just drop a bomb. He said, well, if you want to drop a bomb, drop a bomb. He was being dismissive and stupid, and he put out a statement the next day saying that never in history would the Jews ever even contemplate doing that. Let's remember one thing. The only place in the Middle East, one second, Piers, the only place in the Middle East where Arabs have any freedoms, Israel. The only place where they vote openly, Israel. The only place where Palestinian women can dress the way they want, Israel. And let's be clear, when Mohammed Hijab gets up and says that we Palestinians want to be a religion of death, you know, I just got a haircut coming here by an Arab barber here in London, and he said to me, I hope you defeat this guy because he doesn't represent us. We want to live. We want to have good lives. We want to be religious. We want to eat halal. But we don't want to die for martyrdom. You are not a Muslim. You're an Islamist. You're an Islamist.
Let me ask Mohammed a question. Let me ask Mohammed a question. Hamas has 240 hostages. Hamas has 240 hostages they took, including babies, young kids, grandmothers who survived the Holocaust. I mean, an unspeakable further criminal act. We can agree, right?
Of course.
Why should Israel agree to any ceasefire so long as those hostages are still being kept hostage?
Look, my position is very clear. They should fight man to man on the ground. On the ground.
Well, they are.
That fighting.
That's exactly what they're doing.
That fighting, no one can. This is
Muhammad, that's exactly what they're doing.
I know.
Man to man, they took hostages.
Excuse me.
They took babies as hostages.
He's asked me the question.
They took infants as hostages.
Let him answer the question.
You're getting excited here. I know it's your sexuals are implying you're the sex rabbi.
Now you're back to my sex life.
You're
getting overexcited.
Get your head out of my bedroom, Mohammed.
Nukes are a no-go in the modern era. What Israel understands, you could drop the nuke equivalent of conventional bombs over a month and get away with it. Exactly. There is no shot Israel gets to nuke Gaza. One, because nuclear fallout would literally harm Israel as well. Now, of course, Israel doesn't really care about Jewish citizens or protecting them as much as they care about killing as many Palestinians. So you could literally say, like, they could still drop it. But the real thing that stops Israel from dropping a nuke is that they have to rely on Western support. Obviously, the fallout and the effects on the land would be awful, and those are the primary considerations. But the major consideration here is that they can't fucking do that. Because if America goes, what the fuck are you doing? We're pulling support. They're done. They're done. It's over. It is Jover. It has never been more Jover. BDS would absolutely stop Israel dead in its fucking tracks for this very same reason. And that's precisely the reason why it's illegal in 36 states. Because of the American-Israeli lobby. Those motherfuckers saw BDS shred the South African apartheid regime. And they were like, oh fuck, one of our allies got eviscerated. We have to make sure this doesn't happen to us.
Beneath you.
He's getting excited with me.
Let me ask the questions.
Honestly.
You guys answer them. Mohammed, answer my question. Why, if you're Israel, would you ever agree to a ceasefire if those hostages aren't released?
I'm telling you what my position is. My position is man-to-man combat.
Which is what they're doing now.
No, that part of it is understandable. Do you understand?
That's what they're doing.
No problem. But what I think is not understandable, what is not acceptable, because you said, what's a proportionate response? That's the question you keep asking everybody. My answer to you is a proportionate response is one where in which the ratios are not 100 to 1.
That's your invention.
Excuse me, please.
Where does that come from? What's your source?
Okay,
Tell me the source. Tell me the source.
IDF.
The IDF. Yeah, sure. Tell me when did they say it?
They said,
I know all the IDF spokespersons.
No, you don't.
I know Jonathan
Daniel
Conricus. Daniel Hagari said what? When?
Okay, so let me explain.
No.
Kaya's getting one of her favorite treats again.
Excuse me.
When did he say we're killing Palestinians 100 to 1?
10 days ago, and it's mentioned on a website. I'll tell you
the truth is, they don't.
He never said this is pure fabrication.
Let me you asked me a source.
Which website?
You asked me a source.
Which website?
You asked me a source.
Al Jazeera?
No.
Is it Al Jazeera?
You've asked me a question, right?
Okay.
Are you scared to hear the response?
Go ahead.
Okay, the response is as follows. The Guardian has reported that the IDF have said that in terms of the numbers of Hamas that have been killed, I'm answering this question.
I know.
The Hamas that have been killed, they say, quote unquote, dozens. Now listen.
Hamas or civilians? You said civilians.
No,
wait a minute.
You said civilians.
Wait a minute.
I'm telling you where I got the 100 to 1 ratio.
Mohammed.
100 to 1 ratio comes from
the numbers have
invented it.
10,000 civilians, 60. It's actually more than 100 to 1.
As soon as you call him out on anything, he has no sources. He has
no one can hear what you're saying.
Okay.
Let me respond to him.
This is a blood libel,
Let me respond.
Piers. The Jews have a right to respond to a blood
question
libel.
him.
It's a blood libel.
Here's the reality. I read that report. That was about at least 2 weeks ago, right?
10 days ago.
The numbers have changed a lot.
Yes, they have.
Israel now believe they've killed a lot more Hamas. They don't know exactly how many, because actually, how do you tell on the ground
By the way, Piers,
to a
one
Hamas
thing.
fighter and a member of the general population?
Do you know, according to the IDF, and we've done a study on the name that they put on X, they had 1,280 names that they put on X, and according to Haaretz, they put, Haaretz is, as you know, is a left-wing newspaper in Israel. They also put the names of those who have been killed. Guess what? According to them, 340 military have been killed, which means Hamas's ratio of combatant to non-combatant is 3 to 1.
All right.
Imagine Hamas is doing...
Yo, he's right. Dude, lesser evil. Hamas is the lesser evil. I'm a lesser evil voter, guys. I'm a lesser evil voter. Thank you for accurately calling the American-Israeli lobby and not the Jewish-American lobby. It's so funny. It's so funny that these guys are like pro-Israel, but so anti-Semitic at the same time. Like, they're pro-Israel because, you know, Israel's killing Muslims and that's fucking awesome, right? But they're so anti-Semitic that they're like, can't stop doing Nazi propaganda in the midst of like defending Israel. They keep Jonah Greenblatt going on MSNBC being like, the IRS should go after pro-Palestinian supporters and whatnot. Bitch, what are you doing? What are you doing? These motherfuckers are running rampant, but hey, they're pro-Israel, so they can say whatever kind of fucking Hitlerian anti-Semitic conspiracies they want to, because ADL's too busy trying to fucking dox and maybe even criminalize anyone that says Palestinians are human beings. Where's your fucking smoke for Elon Musk? Where's your smoke for the likes of Charlie Kirk, Tucker Carlson? Fuck are you doing, ADL? You fucking monstrous pieces of shit. Demonstrating that you're not in it for like actually combating anti-Semitism and cynically weaponizing anti-Semitism against fucking peace activists and shit. It's so nasty, dude. I saw some tweet saying like Kanye was a few months too early with his anti-Zionism. Anti-Zionism, his anti-Semitism. He'd be popping off right now. And what I wanted to say to that was, if Kanye West was fucking pro-Zionist and also anti-Semitic, okay, he would literally be regarded as like, just like Charlie Kirk. Like, they would just be like, yeah, we don't really care. He'd fit right in. So many motherfuckers who are like, I love Israel. Israel can do whatever it wants. Israel has a right to defend itself. Then turn around and say some of the most insane bullshit about Jewish people. Literally Hitlerian propaganda, which we will get to in a little bit. That's why I was going to talk about Elon Musk and his anti-Semitic takes.